Welcome everybody to the Revenue Impact Talks by Markets and Markets. My name is Harshita Dadlani and today we have a very special guest for you all. This is Naveen Jain. He is the founder of Biome, Moon Express, Blue Dot and other successful companies. So welcome to the discussion Naveen and thank you so much for being here.
Harshita, it's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Okay, so a little bit more about Naveen. He's an entrepreneur driven to solve the big problems facing today's world. As a chairman of the board at Singularity University, Naveen is focused on educating, inspiring the leaders to address the humanity's greatest challenges by using and developing innovative technologies. And recently, he launched a $1 million Women's Safety X Prize dedicated to empowering women around the world. Well, that's really amazing, Naveen. So let's kickstart the discussion, and we have some great questions coming up. So my first question to you is, tell us more about Biome and its mission.
Yes. So, Harshita, I started Wyom with a simple purpose. What if we can find a way to use food as a medicine to prevent and reverse chronic diseases? Because I feel that there is absolutely nothing why humans have to develop heart disease or diabetes or obesity or have autoimmune diseases, develop depression or anxiety or dementia or Alzheimer or cancers, right? There is absolutely no reason to. And the only reason that happens is that according, our lifestyles, right? So the foods we eat and the air we breathe and the types of things we engage in. And we thought, what if we understand everything that's happening in your body and specifically tell you what foods you should eat and why, what foods you should avoid and why, what are the nutrients your body really needs, and actually make those nutrients on demand for each individual, will be able to prevent and reverse chronic diseases. And that was the sole purpose that we started.
Perfect. So looks like a great mission. And just a follow-up question to that. So
Yeah.
since you have been working in this industry forever, so which changes in the interconnected markets or adjacent markets will have major impact on your industry? So maybe what would be the changes for your clients and how it will impact you?
Yeah. So Harshita, I think it's the other way around. If you look at this whole healthcare industry, it is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and it is fundamentally based on the fact that you give me the ill, I'll give you the pill. And every time you take one drug, it causes more symptoms because fundamentally these drugs are designed to suppress the symptom rather than understand the root cause and solve the root cause. And I really believe this idea of a personalized medicine, and when the medicine itself is a food, then I think you're able to prevent this massive amount of expenditure and suffering that humanity has. So I really think the whole healthcare industry is going to implode, where this whole idea of managing the chronic diseases, instead it will be actually prevention of chronic diseases and reversal of chronic diseases rather than simply maintaining them. So when you and I develop diabetes, we just have to take a drug every single day. We have to prick our finger every day. And my point is, what if you don't have to do that? What if you don't even develop the diabetes, or you can reverse it by eating the right foods? And that to me is the ultimate solution. So I really believe the idea of this whole cancer therapy, idea of having these hospitals just to manage the chronic diseases will go away. The healthcare industry is going to be at home. So the future of healthcare is going to be at home, not at the hospital. And the future of medicine is going to come from a farm, not a pharmacy. And that's really is going to be the fundamental change.
Okay, so great insights. Uh, just I would like to know more from you regarding in the context of mentioning that 20 is the new 80. So what do you think, which unknown 20% opportunities or trends would cover the 80% of future businesses? So maybe you can mention some case study here as well, where you found out about some unknown markets and unknown trends which affected your industry, and they have now become 80% of your business. So, yeah.
Well, again, as I mentioned, this whole, if you look at the next decade, most of the industries that are currently the market leaders are not going to be around in the next 10 to 15 years. That means half of the Fortune 500 companies are going to go under. They're going to become the codex of the world. They're just going to become irrelevant to the problems that are being solved. So I would look at the education industry is absolutely ripe for disruption. The healthcare industry is going to completely change in a decade. There is no doubt in my mind, within a decade, the cancer is going to be the things of the past. The things like mental health. Today, we have hundreds of millions of people in the world who are suffering from depression, anxiety, and stress. There's absolutely that thing is just going to disappear, right? I really think people, having diabetes or heart disease, these are the things that just should not ever exist. So I really believe that many of these things, when they change, the whole future of work is going to change, future of education is going to change, future of healthcare is going to change, the future of automotives are going to change, right? So you start to look at future of construction is going to change, the future of real estate is going to change, because once you have the virtual environment where you can all work in, it doesn't matter where you live. And the real estate industry that is primed for location is going to fundamentally shift, that people can live anywhere and work anywhere, and the idea of having to be in Manhattan just goes away, right? So I really think any industry you look at is going to have a fundamental shift because of what we are seeing today, especially COVID. I really think accelerated the humanity by a decade.
Right. Since you mentioned a lot of industries like the real estate, the education, what do you think the changes in these industries? How will that impact the healthcare industry and particularly your company and your clients?
Yeah. So again, going back to it, Harshita, is that as these industries are shifting, the model moves from main, managing the symptoms to prevention. And that means now we're going to focus more and more time and more energy for prevention of diseases. That means focusing on making sure people don't develop cancer rather than giving them a red poison like chemotherapy, trying to find out now that they have a cancer, what to do about it, right? Or waiting for someone to prevent from the suicide rather than preventing prevention of depression to begin with. And I really think looking at the body as holistically, understanding the human biology at a molecular level is the only way is going to get solved. And I think the technology for the first time is now available to us to be able to solve this problem. So our generation will be the generation that actually will solve the healthcare problem. And I think to us, our company and our revenue tripled during COVID. And I really think it is going to be just the beginning, because I really think what we're doing is a fundamental shift in the healthcare where individuals want to empower themselves to take control of their own health. They don't want to feel helpless and go to a doctor and say, Doc, I'm sick, what do I do? And that helpless is going to go away, because artificial intelligence is going to be able to analyze everything that's happening in our body and to be able to tell us what to do about it.
Yep, yep. I think these thoughts are rightly aligned with your company's mission as well. Okay, so let's wind up with this last question. One suggestion you have for the leadership in your industry?
Well, I think is that don't focus on simply solving the symptom of the problem. Understand the root cause. And once you do that, you're going to have a sustainable change in how humanity lives. Focus on doing the good for the world. Don't just focus on doing well. And I really think if you can improve the lives of 1 billion people that can live better because of your product, you can create $100 billion company. Don't focus on just making money. Focus on helping people live better lives. So every single person in the healthcare, look in the mirror and say, what are you doing to help people live better? Not what are you doing to improve the shareholder value for yourself and your clients. Focus on making people feel better, focused on solving their problem rather than simply managing their symptom. And you're going to have one amazing company, and people will thank you for that.
Well, that's really a beautiful thought and beautiful suggestion. So, great insights for all the questions. I really appreciate everything that you are doing and continue doing it. And it is really fascinating and inspiring personally for me. And I'm sure it is for all of us out there. And thank you so much for your time on behalf of Markets and Markets. Any closing words for us?
Arshita, just keep doing the amazing work that you and your teams are doing here. And I look forward to seeing you again and have another conversation.
Thank you so much once again and take care.
Bye bye.